Hey everyone, it's your buddy Crypto Prophet back with another video, and today we're going to be taking a deep look at BitTorrent BTT and the price we're going to see for May, June, and 2021. So stay tuned for that at the end of the video. Also, if you guys do like BitTorrent or if you hold BitTorrent, make sure to quickly subscribe to the channel, turn notifications on, and like the video because we talk about BitTorrent a lot on this channel. So we do see that 0.0071 cents right now. We also see a 7% increase, almost an 8% increase in the last 24 hours alone. So we are seeing some good profits and really some good percentage increases in the last 24 hours. If we take a look at the last week though, or month, or even, the years about where you can see some increase, obviously 2,000%. But if you take a look at the last week and month, it isn't looking good for BitTorrent. But I will say, if you're looking at the month, it does cut off on the 0.0119 when we are just slowly coming down from that massive, increase that we saw, I guess, prior to that. And when we went all the way up to our all-time high of 0.0143, now obviously, dropping back down, we are seeing kind of a stabilization in the last 24 hours after this increase, and that's fantastic to see. Obviously, a lot of people kind of were worried with BitTorrent. We weren't having any movement, really just slowly decreasing right around 0.0064, and then we had a shot and we just went flying up to about 0.0074, and now we're trying to stabilize around this 0.0071. I do think we have potential to continue on another sideways trend and then another increase coming. With the way the altcoins are all going right now, I do think BitTorrent is not going to be left behind because BitTorrent is a great coin. Like I always tell you guys, great coin has a lot of potential in the future because of all the things that they are trying to do and accomplish, including obviously the BTFS, DLive integrations, as well as BTorrent Speed. I'm going to go into all of that, so I won't be covering too much of that right now, but let's kind of deep dive into some of this most recent tweets and talk about why BitTorrent is going to have such a good future. So right now we do see, like I said, that 0.0071 and a stabilization starting to occur a little bit above, our previous last couple of days here. So let's take a look. So here we have holding with diamond hands. So we have, why don't you care about the BTT price? Because I bought in January, LOL. So obviously, if you bought in January, you've made some dang good profit already. You see that holding with diamond hands coming from BitTorrent itself, showing that, I don't think there's much going on right now with BitTorrent's. They know that there's a little bit of a wait, I should say, between big updates. We see this coming out, and we also saw our time will come. We're not forgotten. Be patient, young one. How some BitTorrent fans feel. And this is actually interesting that, BitTorrent actually tweeted this stuff. So we're continuing to see this kind of stuff being tweeted by BitTorrent, understanding that, their time is coming. It's just not here quite yet. So it's very, very interesting to see, I guess in reality, Tron's doing very well, has a bunch of different updates and really new information going on with Tron, and then BitTorrent is kind of being left behind, and this is a great little I guess a meme to really show that. And I want to say, guys, BitTorrent does have a very big future ahead of it. We may see this sideways trend for a little bit, but do remember the fact that we're sideways trending instead of going straight down while there's really no big updates coming is a big deal. And we see them continuing to work really on BitTorrent, BTT, BTFS, DLive, and uTorrent. But it's just one of those things where it's funny that they would actually post these memes and really let us know that they understand that the price isn't moving at all because there's been no activity really giving us not really good information, I should say. So going into the first one, we say, don't forget the giants involved with this project. So this is a big deal. Obviously, if you guys don't know some of the giants involved, they talk about Netflix, Facebook, Google, Twitter, Lionsgate, and DLive. Obviously, DLive being probably one of the smallest there, and the others being very, very massive. They talk also about, why BitTorrent is a big coin. So if we go into the breaking news, they talk about Amazon Web Services to use the BitTorrent protocol, BTT, about to take off so hard. Obviously, this didn't really occur because that was May 3rd, and it didn't really take off. But I guess if you count this last, as I try to get back to it, this last 24 hours as a takeoff, about a 7% increase, I would say no. I think this is mostly due to the really all altcoins really surging right now. I think BitTorrent's just increasing with everyone else, but for the most part, I do think BitTorrent's going to have a great May, June, and 2021 really all together as we go forward. Let's jump into the next one. So obviously, Tron is kind of really invested with BitTorrent. If you guys don't know, Justin Sun is the CEO of Tron Foundation as well as BitTorrent. So they work hand in hand in reality. If you guys don't know this, you know now. So let's talk about Tron because Tron is actually going to help move BitTorrent as well. If you guys don't believe that, we've seen it happen before. Tron moves and BitTorrent moves with it. So Tron will soon be worth more than PayPal and Ant Group combined, which is just absolutely massive. Obviously, we saw here Barry Silbert said Tron is worth more than Yahoo and AOL combined. and now we're seeing obviously PayPal and Ant Group combined together. So it's just pretty crazy to continue to see Tron grow at such a fast rate, really. And we jump to the next one. We see, why is there now more Tether on Tron than Ethereum? More of the stablecoin is on the Tron blockchain than ever before. Here's what's happening, why it matters. So we're basically seeing, stablecoin Tether has broken new records with its market cap. It's also breaking records with how much of it is being used on the Tron blockchain. And experts obviously explain why, basically talking about how Tether is being used on Tron's network because, well, the fees really, fees are insanely low on the Tether, or I guess, sorry, on the Tron network compared to the Ethereum network, as a bunch of other little things as well. If you want to read through this article, you definitely can. It's on decrypt.co. Let's jump to the next one, though. Obviously, these are more related to Tron, but do remember, like I said, guys, stuff relating to Tron is actually related to BitTorrent in a way. Every time Tron goes up, it seems like BitTorrent does see some price fluctuation as well. So we see Tron Century Mining Phase 3 launching soon. We won't go into details. Like I said, that's more Tron related. And then we see the Tron Weekly Report, just a huge, massive amounts of numbers really there. If you want to take a pause of the video and read those numbers, they're pretty insane as we continue to see Tron do very, very well. But let's jump back to what we're here to talk about, and that's BitTorrent Token itself. So tokenizing the world's largest decentralized file sharing system and protocol with BTT. So BTT is a TRC10 utility token, obviously Tron token, based on the blockchain that powers features of the most popular decentralized protocols and applications in the world. DApps powered by BTT include BitTorrent Speed, BitTorrent File System, DLive, and others in the pipeline. So there is a lot going on with BitTorrent. We saw, there is so many different use cases really and so many different things they're working on currently. So it makes perfect sense that it is going to take some time to really develop these things and really polish them over. And it's just as soon as we start getting, news or information of one, I think we will start seeing, one after the other, just really rapid fire. And I think BTT will really, really start to shoot up when that takes place really. So next we have BitTorrent Speed, get faster download speeds and BTT token rewards. So if you don't know about BitTorrent Speed, I don't know if I said BitTorrent, but BitTorrent Speed, it's definitely an incentivized earning BTT tokens. Uploaders have a reason to seed files longer and dedicate more of their bandwidth storage to other torrent clients in the network. So it's going to be a big thing, obviously, with BitTorrent. We go down a little bit more. We see enable your wallet, enjoy faster download speeds, and earn BTT. It's very, very simple on how it works and how to enable BTT to enjoy those faster download speeds. We can also see get started, so you can actually get free downloads of BitTorrent Web, uTorrent Classic, and uTorrent Web. This is the biggest one. Obviously, we talk about this a lot on these updates. We talk about BitTorrent file system itself and how it's going to really impact the entirety of the cryptoverse. We see BTFS is both a protocol and network implementation that provides P2P mechanism for storing and sharing digital content in a decentralized filing system. So traditional file storage systems have many disadvantages, and we're not going to go too deep into it, but that includes centralization or control by a single entity, the ability for governments to censor higher costs, and low fault tolerance. So, that is coming soon. So BTFS obviously going to be a massive, massive thing for BitTorrent when that releases. Next up, we do have DLive. This isn't as big as BTFS, but it is going to be big. Just the fact that, we have more integrations and partnerships taking place. So DLive is a live streaming community built on blockchain that empowers content creators and viewers. Soon, BTT will be introduced to the DLive ecosystem to power virtual gifting, subscriptions, and viewer rewards. So that's a big deal. Obviously, if you don't know what DLive is, it's basically a Twitch.tv remake. If you don't know what Twitch.tv or Justin.tv was, it's basically a gaming platform for people to watch people play games, or you can also obviously stream like live streams of pretty much whatever you want. If you go down here to the bottom, we have exchanges. So it's on KuCoin, Binance. It's on big exchanges that are very well known. Obviously, if BitTorrent was accepted by Coinbase, we would see a little bit of a Coinbase, a Coinbase listing. How I'm looking for the effect, Coinbase listing effect. We'd see it obviously shoot up and then come back down a little bit as well. I do think, Coinbase listing effect will take place if BitTorrent does get listed on Coinbase. And I think it's definitely a potential in the future. Not right now. I don't think it's going to happen anytime in like the next 2 weeks or so, but I think in the long-term future, we could see BitTorrent getting listed on Coinbase as well. It's such a big coin, a lot of demand for it. And because of that, I think, Coinbase likes their money. They would take advantage of that. So jumping into, that price chart itself that we saw, let's give it a refresh, make sure we're still looking at that 0.0071. We're down to that 0.007 now, still 7.73% increase. So a lot of people are still happy with that increase in the last 24 hours. We do see a $4.6 billion market cap and the volume being 2.1 billion in the last 24 hours. So there is a lot of volume still in BitTorrent. A lot of people still investing. We did see, like this increase, we said, we are now seeing stabilization. And I think, it all comes down to these memes right here. Once we can actually see BitTorrent get its time to shine, we are going to see some pretty crazy increases, in my opinion, as I think BitTorrent is currently very undervalued. I do want to talk about where we see BitTorrent in May, June, and 2021. So let's jump straight into those. So May, where do we see BitTorrent? I think if we could just see it honestly above 1 cent, a lot of people would be very happy with that. I think that's going to be a realistic prediction for us because unfortunately, I don't think the BitTorrent big news or updates are coming in this month. I think it's going to be early June, early July, before we really, start to see some of the things they've been working on. They did tell us to be patient, so that could mean very patient. I don't know how long that'll actually be. Obviously, they didn't give me specifics on when things will come out, but I do think it will be a couple months till we see some big things for BitTorrent. So stay tuned for those. We do daily updates. So if we see any new information or news, make sure to watch the video because we subscribe to the channel, turn notifications on, like the video because, like I said, we get to those news and articles as soon as they come out. So 50% decrease in the last month. Do remember, guys, that's coming off of the all-time high. So obviously we saw a decrease from the previous, still standing all-time high. So I do think, by the end of May, 1 cent, that should be our price target. And these are conservative price predictions. You guys know that on this channel. We always try to stay away from those 10 to, not 10x. We could see 10x's. We try to stay away from the 100x's. Obviously, that's not really going to be the case with the market cap being close to that 5 billion already. Just 100x is not going to be happening in this year alone. So let's take a look at the end of June. Where do we see BitTorrent? I do think BitTorrent will actually reach by the end of June a possible new all-time high of about 1.5 cents. So that's going to be just barely over our previous all-time high. Do remember, I still think at this time we may not have, BTFS out. We're not going to have some of the big things that BitTorrent is bringing out quite yet. I do think we're going to hear more news about it, and that's really going to start getting the hype back into BitTorrent. Going into the end of 2021, this is where I think BitTorrent will actually start to really flow. I think 3 to 4 to 5 cents is definitely a price range that is possible. Do you remember, guys, these are low price predictions in reality. I think BitTorrent could actually do much more than that. It's going to be dependent fully on really the team itself. Obviously, if the team doesn't have anything actually developed by the end of the year, well, BitTorrent's going to be struggling quite a bit. But if we actually start to see updates and we start to see things polished over and released, we're going to start seeing BitTorrent, like I said, around that 3 to 4 to 5 cent range, in my opinion. So thank you guys so much for tuning in. Those are my price predictions for May, June, and 2021. If you guys haven't already, like I've said in previous times, make sure to subscribe to the channel, turn notifications on, and like the video. I really do appreciate all of your guys' awesome support. You guys are amazing. Thank you guys so much. I'll see you guys in the next one.